Oh my gosh. Here I am, here I am, here I am. Where has the Queen of the Ratchet podcast been with the villains? I think, you know, here's the thing. I love this brand. I think this brand has become more than me. I think this brand is something that I want to continue doing and exploring and finding its own voice. And I think that what has really made this brand successful is the impact that it's had on you guys that continue to listen to the villains and um whatever overstanding it does for you motherfuckers. I think I kind of stopped because I was like, this is not my identity. It is just something I'm choosing to do with my life. It's how I'm choosing to kind of maneuver forward and figure out the best way to make things work for me and this existence that is existing in infinity and ratchet and beyond. I do continue to try to work towards doing a cartoon series. And so many other things, but also I feel like there is this innate pressure of having to do that I've let go of. That I'm like, I enjoy doing this, but it isn't me. Queen of the Ratchet was something that I created because I felt like we lived in a world where people were really afraid to be themselves. And I recall as a child and as a young adult, I was afraid to really be myself because of the fact that I was very expressive. I was very flamboyant. I was me. And I don't know if me was something that was always where I felt like it was good enough for the society that I lived in because I came into a society full of rules that were already established. Some of them I felt like worked for me, like, hey, make sure you wash your hands after you use the bathroom, sit on the toilet to go poop. Make sure you get some sleep. You seem a little bit emotional. Take a second to relax. And there are other things that I felt like were not beneficial. And those things that I felt that weren't beneficial for me were, hey, being gay is wrong, or hey, you're black, so racism exists, and they're gonna look at you this way, and hey, you're gonna go to hell if you do X, Y, Z. And that's when I started to really question a lot of things. I questioned like this whole idea of like, oh my gosh, I gotta go to school from first to 12th and then the idea is package me up, get me ready to go to a job so I can take care of myself and do for myself and be for myself and not worry about the society I live in because, hey, life is hard out here. That was my perspective for a while. And I felt like before the pandemic, like I was a server for like 7 years of my life, and I was still like pursuing my dreams, the things that I wanted to do. And I was also feeling a sense of lack, a sense of jealousy because of what my peers were doing that I thought I needed to do, a sense of anger because I felt like I wasn't being heard. And when the pandemic hit, there was this sense of like, oh, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. This freedom, this new began freedom that was going to happen for me. This new foundation of, oh my gosh, I can finally be free. And so I started creating content. I was making money online and I was really living by myself and on this phone. And through that, I had another crisis kind of happen in that moment. Another like, well, shit, I want to get back out. I was still working. Like some people, some of y'all left society. I don't know where the fuck y'all went. Y'all went into y'all's homes. Y'all stayed locked up. And I was a content creator and still working a 9 to 5. And so I was still talking to people. And I think that my higher self or the universe or God or whatever you want to call it, the oneness led me to finding back the reason I do art, the reason that I move my body, the reason that I talk to people, the reason that I write scripts. And I needed to take a break. And I needed to find this sense of like, I'm more than just, oh, if this brand makes it, or if I end up on TV, or if I end up doing this thing that's going to make me into this thing, when it's like, I'm already enough. We are already enough. We don't have to keep chasing these ideas that we have to be more than what we are. So last night the Oscars came on and I stopped watching the Oscars a long time ago. Honestly, I didn't really want to watch last night because half of the time I don't see half of those motherfucking movies and I think the realization I had last night was this. Who picks these motherfucking movies? Oh, these people that were already established, who were picked by people that were already established, who were picked by people that were elitist and already established to tell us who was the best. And I think it's an ongoing cycle that we continue to live in that doesn't service the art form. However, I am in this art form. I do enjoy parts of this art form, and I do love parts of this art form. I think that art heals, and I think that the capitalistic side of art is what it is because, hey, people got to make a motherfucking living, but until we get it together and realize, hey, we can't get to the next level in society if only one motherfucker is getting to the next level of society if you choose to live in society. Now, we can all go meditate on a motherfucking mountain, and I don't know if anything can get done. Where I'm going with this is watching the Oscars last night was just like, this is something I thought was the goal as an artist. I thought this was the goal. I get wealthy. I get really successful. My family didn't come from a whole bunch of money. So I was like, oh, yep, this is the goal. This is where I need to do. This is what I need to do with my life. This is how I need to maneuver through everything. This is the dream. And I think it's because people were telling me through a black screen what the dream was. People on a black screen are telling us what our dream is and manipulating us to believe that we're not already enough and already there. People are telling us what the dream is. James Baldwin said, an artist can never think of themselves as a success. And so it's like you win this award, and I've never experienced it. I've never experienced winning the award. A lot of artists, a lot of creators have not experienced winning these titles that we give this society in some ways that is broken and still healing. And we keep feeding into these systems that are programmed and function on a set of programs that are not updated. And it stucks it sticks us in a matrix that, there's other matrices outside this matrix, but it sticks us in a matrix that we can grow from a system that is broken and we don't have to feed it. We get to decide our dreams. We get to decide how we see ourselves. The art is not who we are. So Queen of the Ratchet is not about being ghetto, not about being, hey, look at me, I'm gonna tell it like it is. It's just about being your authentic self. And sometimes that is fucking cussing somebody out. Because I always question, I was like, why the fuck can't I motherfucking cuss? Oh, because I'm gonna go to hell. Because my brain, and like I studied a lot of brain, I've been doing like a lot of brain shit lately. And it's like, oh, well, if you cuss, that brings negative energy in. And I'm like, oh, so I gotta we creating rules again. And some rules, there's universal laws that I feel like are working. But if I'm just like, hey, motherfucker, what's up? I don't think that is creating some type of like field that's forcing me in the fiery pits of hell. I don't think that, a person choosing, an adult choosing for themselves to sleep with the same sex consensually is taking them to hell. What I do feel is, being a human, I feel like it's supposed to be fun. I feel like we create our own reality. I feel like it's supposed to be a beautiful, abundant, loving, joyous experience. And I think we're also here to appreciate the negative shit. I think that it helps us all write our own journey. And it continues on and on and on and on and on. I've been having this discussion with myself, and I'm like, I think God is kind of fucking crazy. And it's like, it's almost kind of like you got to say, yo, God, yo, you're enough, baby. You are enough. And if we're all pieces of God, and we're all going through darkness, if we're all going through being God and the devil and our different darknesses and lightness, it's that idea that we got to tell God, yo, you're enough. I know you were bored. I know you want to create all these things, but baby, you are enough. And I don't know if God speaks a language. I do believe that God is everything, even fucking technology and these robots and these aliens and Anunnaki and all that shit. I said Anunnaki. Anunnaki, I just think it's encompasses so many fucking things, and you're enough. Do you hear me? We're enough. It's enough. I love you. Ashanabuga!